We now go with Ramiro Sanchez. Says, Ramiro, hello Wave. I would like to know if you can check my portfolio and give me an honest opinion. I'm a 3D character artist with 3 or 4 years of experience, mostly in video games and 3D print. I have lost some passion on this, and the market these days is extremely hard. I was trying to improve it, and I believe I have a good portfolio to work. Let's take a look. Yeah, man, this is good. So again, I don't like making these comparisons, guys, but I am gonna make it today. Please don't take this personal, but you can see the difference in the amount of pieces that we have right here, right, with other portfolios that we've seen. And this is what a potential recruiter is looking for. Like, I want to be able to see multiple pieces so that I can check if one particular piece aligns with the type of style that I'm going to be doing for my project. So if I'm going to be doing a cartoon style, this is awesome because Ramiro is showing me here that he's got this very nice stylized character, right? Like very Pixar-like, very DreamWorks-like, that could potentially work for my project. If I'm going for something a lot more realistic, look at this robbing tactical suit. And can you see the difference? This is what I was mentioning about the hard surface. This does look like hard surface. It does look like these elements, this plate is actually resistant. It's actually made out of a material that will survive the impact of some elements, okay, or of the impact of some damage. So this is better. There are a couple of things here that we can improve, Ramiro. I'll point them out in just a second. I just want to look through the whole thing first. Okay, so the first thing is here, face color. There needs to be a little bit more variation on the skin tones. Right now, all of the skin tones are very similar. And this is another very common thing that we do. We've done it before. We did it quite a bit on the hand painted like course, because I know that this was hand painted, right? Like you hand painted this skin tone. If we go to any like imaging software and we desaturate the whole thing, look at this. I sampled the colors, and I want you guys to look at the color like palette over here. All of the colors that we have on the face are in the exact same range. We're not moving anything. Even the darkest tones are very, very close to like the highest tones. So one of the things that we need to do here, and this is with color, of course, I'm going to do it in black and white for now, but we need to add some contrast. We need to add some lighter tones in certain areas to really push some elements up, and we need to add some like darker tones in other areas to really push some of the other elements back, right? So that variation is what's eventually going to give us a nice like contrast on the face. Also the glossiness, I'm not saying the glossiness on the face, like it looks very flat. Haircuts need a lot of work. I'm gonna have some news about that soon. Yeah, it's not a bad character. It's definitely a little bit more professional looking, but there are things. So for instance here, this is one of the elements that I was gonna mention. Let me copy this. So a very important thing about things in the real world, guys, is that there's always some sort of like details. There are details that tell us how things are actually working, right? And what I mean by this is, if you take a look at this mask, for instance, we need to have, for instance, a little bit of a border, something, right? Because this is probably molded, that they molded this in sort of like plastic press or something. So I would expect to see, you know, a seam line or a mold line or something that's gonna separate this thing and make it look a little bit more interesting. I would probably even remove a lot of like this grainy detail and keep it more like plastic. Like if you've ever seen rubber tends to be very, very smooth, right? Like you're not gonna see this kind of like information. And if we have a very smooth shiny surface here and then we have a more rough skin over here, that's gonna make it look a little bit more interesting again as a construction piece. The eyes, they definitely need the refraction. Again, it really depends on what kind of like quality you're going for. It's not the same to be doing a game for again, like a VR game where you need to optimize all of stuff that it might be to do a game for like a AAA company. But if you want to work with AAA stuff, you need to show that you can do AAA stuff, okay? So that would be my advice for that piece. I know when I give these advices, I know that it's not something that you can easily like go back and do for this particular characters, but this is the stuff that you need to take into account for future characters. This is good. I like it. Yeah, proportions are good. This one looks very, very interesting. Sci-fi villain. 15 polys. Oh, that's very impressive. Love that suit here, man. That's really good. Yeah, good stuff on this one. You're killing me, man. You're killing me. What is this, dude? What is this? Yeah, so I understand what you did here, which is you split everything into like multiple components, but this is a very messy UV. It's not going to be something that's going to kill you, right? Like people are not going to be like, oh yeah, you're done, we're not going to hire you because of this. But if you get hired, one of the things that I would say, like if I hire you, one of the things I will tell you is like, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this UV. It's not, again, it's not that it's a bad UV, because I can definitely tell where some things are. Like it seems like this is the hand and the fingers over here. This is like the feet. Maybe this is the head. But it's very, very difficult to work with. You were saved by the render, because the render looks very, very good. But we need to keep things a little bit more organized. Okay. Yeah, it's an easy fix, as Street Level is saying. It's an easy fix, this one, the UV. I mean, no longer for this project, but just keep this in mind, Ramiro. This is not something that we want on your UVs, because you're gonna make everyone else's life more difficult on the pipeline. Take a look at this one. Yeah, I mean, you have some cool stuff. It seems like you have a good hang on sculpting and modeling. So I would probably pick another project like in this some line and try to go like give yourself more resources. Here's the thing. I'm gonna take a wild guess here, Ramiro. I'm not sure if you're in Latin America. It kind of gives me that vibe because of your name, of course. But here in Latin America, we've gotten like one of the things that they teach quite a bit in schools and in like courses and things like that is optimize. Like we need to optimize everything. And I'm gonna tell you why. This is a little bit of a sad truth, but here in Latin America, most of the 3D work that is done at studios is outsourced work, and you're usually doing a lot of mobile games. You're usually doing a lot of like very simple minimalistic stuff. Like we're not doing AAA things, right? That's why they'll tell you to optimize things very, very heavily, because the kind of clients that are outsourcing that work to Latin America or to Asia, for instance, they're looking for this level of optimization. However, again, if you want to work on the big studios and the big companies, they do care about optimization, but they also care about a higher quality bar. So I would love to see a character where you have the permission, I'm giving you the permission right now, to get all the way up to 200,000 triangles if needed. Okay, you have the ability to do 200,000 triangles. So really use that to have interesting silhouettes on the cloth, on the wrinkles, interesting silhouette on the armors, like that kind of stuff can really push your portfolio to the next level. Okay, hope that helps, my friend. Yeah, Anish, I agree. 15K is impressive. Like the fact that this thing is only 15K triangles, that's awesome. But again, that's the kind of stuff that you would see on Knights of the Old Republic, right? Like it's games where you really need to optimize things heavily. It's fine that we know how to do that, but it's also important to show that you can do like higher quality stuff if asked, right?